inside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Clapman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save.
Look to the outside as Trunke goes off. De Jong into second place.
I'm going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
I trying this contact though. Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the Paravolca. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the Paravolca. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schumacher, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Welcome to Kentucky. We're here at the Bluegrass State for the finale. It's the big one here tonight, and we are live on Beaufort Broadcasting. This is the Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series with the PHight 225, PHight Club 225, and it's the finale. We are ready to rock and roll here. And one of 4 drivers is going to take home the crown tonight. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett, and joining me in the booth is my brother from another mother, my broadcast partner as always, Mr. Tony Trapasso. Tony, it's the big one tonight.
Woo! Pasky's trucks!
And tonight's race is, of course, being sponsored by the PH Men's Fight Club. And Tony, I believe you got some information on that one.
I do. It's a Facebook group that was started because male patients usually have different issues from female patients, and a couple of patients decided they were going to get together and create a safe space for male patients and male caregivers to kind of share their feelings in a forum that they might not feel comfortable talking about in a co-ed forum. So this is a place where men helping men is their slogan, and it's really a good sounding board for guys that are suffering from pulmonary hypertension. They can go and feel safe, sharing, hey, this is what's going on. Has anybody else experienced this? And then, kind of share back and forth. It's the PH community helping the PH community.
Absolutely, and I've been a member of that group for a while, showing my support for those guys, and I'll always be part of that group. I mean, I used to run for Phenomenal Evolution. I used to be the man behind Phenomenal Evolution. I was obviously always in support of phenomenal pulmonary hypertension, the PH Aware, and the PH Men's Fight Club, and I still support them today, despite me not being part of the team. I'm still shouting their name out every chance that I get, and it's definitely a great cause to follow. And PH Men's Fight Club, they're affiliates of PH Aware, so yeah, it's good to have them on board for tonight's race, and it's good to have their support as well, as basically showing their support to us as we show our support to them.
And speaking of pulmonary hypertension awareness, one of the biggest reasons why you and I are such supporters of that group is because of our very good friend, who just so happens to be racing for a championship tonight, as I might add, Mr. Kevin Paskawych, joining us now. chief cook and bottle washer of the Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series, Mr. Kevin Paskawych. KP, your thoughts coming into tonight's season finale?
I don't want to think tonight. It's going to be tough. I mean, we're down on speed comparative to everybody else, so it's going to be a tough race tonight. It's going to be tight. We're just going to have to play strategy and cross our fingers and hope for the best. So, but we have a great group of drivers. The 4 drivers are in here tonight are probably, at least 3 of them, not including myself, are 3 of the most respectable guys in the league, who are great race car drivers in their own right. That's why they're here. And, we're just going to have some fun. We're going to go out there and, bring home a trophy or bring home a steering wheel.
Absolutely. I know this broadcast is being shown on the PH Men's Fight Club Facebook page here tonight. KP, before we let you loose on the qualifying tonight, would you like to give them a shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, definitely. To all the guys in the PHight Club, thank you guys for watching and supporting us, and hope you like seeing your name up there tonight. And keep on rocking it. This is for, every guy in the group, every guy who's gone through the group. This truck tonight is for every PH patient who's, been there. So, including guys like Kevin Berger and Addis Doyle, who were both very good close friends, big supporters of this effort, and Men's Fight Club members. So, we're going to go out tonight. Enjoy the show, guys, and we're going to see what we can do.
And we're going to see how much eyeballs we can get onto, how much PH awareness we can drum up through the use of esports.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely. And, you guys in both are a big part of that. And we thank you for doing everything. And, see if we can go race for some awareness.
Absolutely. Thanks, KP.
Anyway, as KP goes down to start his qualifying, we are going to go straight to the qualifying session ourselves, as qualifying is already underway here, as we are going to go straight to one of our chase contenders. That is Mr. Christopher Bouchard.
No, hold on. I was going to say he's out on track right now, so you don't want to bring him into the booth.
No. We'll get a word with him maybe during the race.
Sure, but the one guy that's not out on track right now, at least I'm not seeing him out on track right now. I could be wrong. Please tell me I'm not wrong. One guy that's not out on track right now, Mr. Tanner Koster, who completely stunk up the round of 8, sweeping the round. Tanner, your thoughts going into tonight?
I've been putting in a lot of practice time. The practice session we had before this one opened up felt really good. I ran some good laps in there. Got some good longer runs in. I mean, it's anyone's game tonight. I feel like I've got a shot at it, but I feel like these other 3 guys have just as much of a shot as I do, so should be fun.
Well, we're going to bring in the other 2, as both of them who just finished their qualifying sessions, joining us now, rounding out the final field of 4 Bluegrass State tonight.
This is going to be interesting, I can tell you that. It's going to be a long 150 laps here. I did a lot of practice this last weekend, and that kind of got thrown out with the change of weather that I was not aware of. So I'm kind of relearning the track. It's going to be really difficult.
And we're going to go now to Kyle Gilbert. Kyle, last one to be confirmed as in with tonight's season finale. Have you gotten over the initial shock of being confirmed as in, and do you have your game face on going into the finale tonight?
Yeah, the last week post race was a little confusing there. I was in, I wasn't in, I was in, I wasn't in. Finally confirmed I was in. And yeah, I'm ready for tonight. I put in a lot of practice over the weekend, and hopefully I can do what I got to do to finish up front.
Well, I mean, as far as what we're seeing right now, it's going to be a slugfest all night long with, Kyle, Tanner, and Chris. You guys are sitting 2, 3, and 4 with Brandon Stokes, almost a full 10th in front of you guys, it kind of got to be counting your lucky stars that you didn't have enough starts to, or no, he got eliminated after the first round.
Yeah, Brandon's fast. Kind of thankful he had a couple bad races there. Pretty sure that's what happened to him. Yeah, I'm sure Kevin will be up there with us towards the end of the race. He'll learn the track. He'll be up there competing for the championship too.
Well, best of luck to you guys tonight. We're going to let you get down to it, and hopefully we're talking to, well, we will be talking to the three of you post-race to get your thoughts on how the race played out, but hopefully we're talking to one of you as champion later.
Here's hoping.
Well, go ahead, Sam.
There we go. That is our 4 drivers for tonight's chase. And tonight, as a reminder, in case you didn't know already, tonight we will crown a brand new champion. Obviously, Ronnie Osmer, the reigning champion and outgoing champion, unable to defend his title as he had to leave for college. But that leaves the door open for someone to pave their own path to glory. And one of these 4 is definitely going to do that tonight.
Very much so. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. You know, as the race progresses and as, you know, the one thing I have learned from talking to the guys prior to us going on the air, with this setup, with this track condition, the right front tire is going to take a beating tonight. Yeah,
and Kentucky is very hard on the tires. I mean, not just the bumps they have to contend with, it's extreme tire wear. I raced here on Wednesday with Top Fuel Racing, and that was tough enough in the IR18. It's going to be even more difficult.
That wasn't here.
It was Kentucky.
That was Kansas.
Oh, you were at Kentucky.
No, you were at Kansas, sir.
We were at Kentucky. I remember. I was there. I got wrecked out. I ended up in the catch fence.
Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Haha, told you. But anyway, it's more...
I was thinking Saturday night with Major League E.
Yeah, yeah, it's difficult around here in the IndyCar. I mean, it's going to be 100 times more difficult in the truck. As we're watching Dylan Moskowitz making his way around on track, you can see just as he's going around on track, those bumps are causing havoc with those trucks right now.
Well, let me borrow a quote from one of the greatest stock car movies of all time. When you were racing Indy cars out west, your tires were twice as wide and the car weighed half as much. Now the car weighs twice as much and the tires are half as wide and you're burning them up.
Yeah.
and you know, that's pretty much what we're going to see most of the night tonight is, you know, who can conserve their tires, who can keep the truck under them, and who can keep it out of trouble, because that's one of the things that we've seen when we go to the 1.5 miles is you have different lines going into the corners, and the braking zones really affect, you know, how you're going to survive a wreck.
Absolutely. And we're seeing how difficult this track can be. I'm watching Tyler Vickery right now as he's turning laps, as he always does during qualifying. He finishes his qualifying run, then carries on running laps to get a bit more solo practice. But even here, even on his own right now, he's finding it difficult around the corners. About a lap ago, he just drifted up wide and hit the outside wall there. Not an easy track at all. And I think the guys in Pasky's really came up with a great choice for the finale tonight, because this is going to be a challenge, and not just for the top 4, but for everybody tonight.
Yeah, if of all the tracks that Karen could have drawn out of the hat at the season finale, this is probably going to be one of the most competitive races we've seen in a very long time.
Absolutely, and competitive it will be. But now it is time. The practices are done, qualifying is done, talking is over, and tonight we have our grid, and starting up on the pole is Brandon Stokes, and he'll be joined on the front row by one of our chase contenders for the championship tonight, Mr. Kyle Gilbert. Great position for him to start with. And right behind him is a whole. It's going to be very tense. Tanner Koster starting in 3rd, Chris Bouchard in 4th on row 2. Row 3 is going to be Matthew Tyrrell and a returning Nate Siefka. Row 4 is Bradley Allison and Tyler Vickery. And rounding out your top 10 in row 5 will be Jordan Barry and Michael Whitaker, Tony.
Row number 6 is going to go to Robert Dudley and our 4th chase contender, Kevin Paskawych. He's going to be rolling off from the number 12 slot. Dylan Moskowitz and James McDavid are going to roll off in row number 7. Row 8 is going to see the return of Hoot Baker, and Sean Weaver is going to be joining him. Francois Pelletier back in his own Toyota tonight. He's going to be joined in row number 9 with defending Xfinity Series champion Bob Lacavara. Johnny Antonucci and Butch Razor roll off in row 10. Parker Alexander, John Jenkins, and Chad Witt scheduled to roll off shotgun on the field as the pace car starts to roll off, Sam.
Yeah, and you see them all on pit road getting ready to get this thing going, as I'm going to bring up the ticker and get everything underway that way. And yeah, it's going to be tense, it's going to be challenging, it's going to be everything you ever wanted from a race. There is a championship on the line here tonight, let's not forget. And hopefully it's going to be a clean one too, but we've seen in the past that it's nothing like that.
I'm putting the over-under at 8, but the guy I really don't envy right now is Brandon Stokes, as he's got 3 angry dogs all around him looking for that championship. And Brandon, unfortunately, got eliminated early in the chase as the field worked its way down the back straightaway and into the 3-4 complex. You know, you've got 3 chase contenders starting in the top 4, and we've seen it time and time again. Brandon Stokes is strong at the beginning. We're going to find out how strong he can be here as the pace car gets ready to make that hard left turn onto pit road. The only thing that's left to say is, Grandpa, Papa Viagra, it's time to get it on for the Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series season finale.
Yeah, and it's for a championship. Brandon Stokes holding them down, and away we go. 150 laps are underway here, and this is what it's all come down to. This is for the championship as it all screamed into turn 1, and already Brandon Stokes out to a couple of car lengths of a lead. Kyle Gilbert holding on to second, but Bouchard and Tanner Koster going at it there for that 4th spot.
And Nate Siefka right on the tailgate of Chris Bouchard right now, as he's trying to say, hey guys, don't forget, I'm only not in there because I missed a couple events.
Yeah, and Siefka working on the outside of Koster now, as you just mentioned. Koster just playing it conservatively right now. Meanwhile, Chris Bouchard, he's doing anything but. He's just going straight after Kyle Gilbert and going straight for the jugular here, Tony.
And Kyle Gilbert working the inside of Brandon Stokes right now as they work their way down the back straightaway here at the Kentucky Speedway. Not normally known as a drafting track, but you can get a good pull down the back chute if you time it right. And it looks like Gilbert working way to the inside right now. Stokes going to hang on as Bouchard keeps it wound up in that second lane and now puts a battle on for second.
Yeah, and that second lane has been known to come into play on occasions around here. So Chris Bouchard being the first man to put some rubber down on that high side, gets a bit too high coming out of turn 4. It looks like Tanner Koster got a bit of a rub on the wall there coming out of turn 2. Doesn't want to see that happen too often in this race, as he's finally been overtaken by Nate Siefka. He's now got Matthew Tyrrell right behind him, and these 6 trucks have gapped Tyler Vickery, who's back there in P7, and look, he's right behind him.
Kevin Paskawych already making some headway into the top 10 so far. And the one thing we're going to find out, Sam, especially here at Kentucky, is that second lane is going to be preferred, especially after you've worn all the goodie off the tires. You can keep it wound up in that second lane, and you can really, you're not going to abuse the tires quite as much running in the second or even third lane up from the apron. So expect to see a lot of outside passes here as the run moves on under green.
Meanwhile, we've got problems for Kyle Gilbert. He's fallen backwards behind Nate Siefka and Tanner Koster. Problems there for the 227. Probably just dropping back to save tyres, but not wanting to see him being freight trained like he has been right now. There goes Tanner Koster to the inside of the 227. Not going to let him go that easily, though. Gilbert keeping it wound up on the high side there to come out of turn 4. going to be side by side as they come towards the line, and that is going to be given to, I'm going to believe it's going to be given to Gilbert there. But yeah, some very competitive racing right now as Chris Bouchard now is right on the back of Brandon Stokes as they come out of turn 2. Nate Siefka has moved his way up to P3 now, Tony.
Siefka up into P3, but getting back to the Gilbert dropping back like that, he dropped back to get behind Koster so he could get to that outside line because he did not want to be on the low side just beating the hell out of that right front tire because, you know, Kyle knows how to play long ball. And for those of you not familiar with that statement, he knows how to conserve tires so that in the long run, he's there at the end. You know, we saw it Saturday night in the Major League Esports K&N series, and we've seen it time and time again here in the Pasky's Cardiac Truck series. You know, Kyle knows what he's doing as far as tire conservation, and another one who knows what he's doing as far as tire and fuel conservation is currently running in second place, Chris Bouchard, and I can guarantee you, the only reason he's peeking out from behind Brandon Stokes like he is to make sure he gets clean air to that radiator to keep that Save the Tatas 28 nice and cool.
Yeah, as Bouchard up to second now. Kyle Gilbert has actually caught up to the back of Nate Siefka again. And he's going to try and put a pass on the outside here. Siefka jumps up the track to fend him off here. And that's only going to play in the hands of Tanner Koster because he's starting to sneak up behind the 227 as well. And Matthew Fields right there as well. Had a good run last week at Bristol. So don't count the man out. Don't count the man in the 78 out either.
You can take a look behind him. Kev Paskawych has gotten by Tyler Vickery, as has Jordan Berry and Robert Dudley. And that Paskawych is starting to lead the charge to bring that second pack to the tail end of this lead pack.
Yeah.
And while we're looking at it, let's take a quick look at the paint scheme on Jordan Berry's truck coming into the season finale tonight. Probably one of the nicest things I've seen in a long time. So thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, and I've just got it on a rear chase cam there. It says on the hood, thank you Pasky's Cardiac Truck League, and thank you to both for broadcasting. And all we've got to say in response to that is thank you, Jordan Berry, for putting on, for being just a part of this league and letting us broadcast your races here.
Absolutely. Now another one that's on a charge right now and is looking to make a big statement tonight is the 39 Parker Alexander. Didn't have the greatest qualifying run. Running some new paint tonight here under the lights. Still running the Do It for Dale logos, but you know, look for him to make some headway before this race is out.
Yeah, mimicking the grey paint scheme that Dale Earnhardt Sr. had at one point, running the red numbers as well. So he's running schemes very reminiscent of Dale Earnhardt, and this one was probably one of my favourites, that colour scheme.
Yeah, he ran it at a night race. Actually, he ran it for the All-Star race one year.
Yeah.
Which was a night race at 1.5 miles. So let's see how well this bodes for Parker before the night's out.
Well, he's already made his way up from the back of the field up into the top 10. A very Verstappen-esque run so far because he started in P20. He's already up to the top 10 after just a handful of laps. Let's go a bit further back in the field there. We're looking at Dylan Moskowitz there. We were looking at Dylan Moskowitz as he's just minding a bit of a pack there. He's blinking like a fat kid with lemon in his eye though. That's not going to be good.
Yeah, for those of you who don't speak British, that was fat kid with a lemon in his eye.
Yeah, we don't.
That's not what it sounded like you said, Sam.
Yeah, we don't emphasise on the T's. And Tyler Vickery's blinking as well.
Very much so.
Majorly.
Yeah, and that's not something you want to see, especially if you're John Jenkins. And up towards the front, Tanner Koster's gotten by Kyle Gilbert, now sets his sights on trying to reel in Nate Siefka.
Yeah, and they're all still together. It looks like Brandon Stokes has got about a car length ahead of Chris Bouchard now, but it's not a race win that guarantees you the championship win here. It's where you finish ahead of the other drivers, and Chris Bouchard currently in the catbird seat right now.
Very much so, and like I said, look for Chris to... He's looking to conserve tires, as I want to say we're about halfway to a green flag run, or through a green flag run.
Oh! Brandon Stokes has just hit the wall!
There it is.
Big technical issues there for the man in the 21, and that is his race done. He's just he's run out the second.
He just threw put.
Yeah.
He just completely threw put.
Yeah, we just saw his truck just go spearing straight into the wall. That put everybody else on edge, and during that little melee, Nate Siefka taking advantage and taking over the lead from Chris Bouchard there.
Well, I dare say that we're probably going to lose one more. Brandon Stokes, I'm looking at his connection right now, quality of 2.
Yeah.
Let me say that again, 2.
Yep, so Stokes already out of this race, but what we're looking at right now after that melee, Kyle Gilbert has got by Tanner Koster, and now is all over the rear fender of Chris Bouchard, and Tanner Koster's right there as well. 3 of your 4 chase drivers all running together right now, and Kevin Paskawych is not too far behind either.
Well, I'm thinking Chris Bouchard lifted out of the throttle to, to make sure that he didn't get collected in whatever was happening with Stokes, and that let Siefka get by. And now Bouchard's got to really, turn up the wick a little bit more than he was probably hoping to, because Kyle Gilbert is all over his tailgate right now.
Yep, takes a look on the inside of coming out of turn 2. Bit too far back to make a move right now. Question is he going to try and make a move into 3? No, he's not. Still too far back. Tanner Koster getting closer as well. Matthew Tyrrell dropping back a couple of car lengths. Got a bit out of shape coming out of turn 4 on the last lap. So he's fallen away a bit. Parker Alexander has got by Kevin Paskawych. That's not what Paskawych wanted to see at this point of the race.
Absolutely not, but he can use Parker Alexander to tow him up to catch on to the tail end of Matt Terrell.
Tyrrell is falling away, and Nate Siefka is pulling away. He's already checked out. He's half a second up the road now.
And that just, it goes to show you what clean air can do in these trucks, as the battle for second right now is as hot as we've ever seen it. They were almost 3 wide coming off of 4, but Tanner Koster wisely lifted out of it and said, yeah, you know what, it's way too early to be making that move.
Yeah. Chris Bouchard in the Save the Tatas number 28. You've got Kyle Gilbert in the Top Flight number 227, and you've got Tanner Koster in the DuPont number 97, paying homage to Jeff Gordon.
As it says 24 forever on the tailgate of that truck.
It does.
As Gilbert right to the outside of Bouchard right now as they haul off into turn number 1. Gilbert going to try to keep it wound up in that second lane. Not going to be able to make it work as Bouchard keeps his foot into it. And Siefka's got to be looking at his rearview mirror and just loving this.
Yeah. He's just pulling away. He's looking for his first. Actually, he's barely turned up in the last few races, but the last race he won was back in Pocono, which was quite a long time ago now.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, this battle for second place between 3 of the 4 chase drivers is really heating up there. We've got Matthew Tyrrell there, just dropping down to the apron there. I think he's coming in for his first. He's going to be the first man to click for a green flag pit stop here.
He is. He just made the announcement that he's going pit side.
Oh, it's Tyrrell Lucy coming into pit road. Got a wheel on the grass and just lost it on the access road there. Tyrrell really putting himself on the back foot now, as he has got to get it back up to speed again. He's going to lose a ton of spots because of that now.
And that is going to be something we're probably going to see most of the night tonight, as they are asking him to use the access road under green flag stops. So, expect to see more than one car overcooking it going onto that access road tonight. Or truck, I should say.
Yeah. As it looks like Chris Bouchard starting to gap Kyle Gilbert now. Gilbert got his mirrors full of the 97 of Tanner Koster. Koster, no stranger to victory lane. He's won 3 races on the season. He's won the last 2 races, so he's looking for the most important win of all here tonight. He's looking okay, though. He's battling out with the other 2 chase contenders in this series, so he's right up there, Tony.
And Mike Whitaker get into it with Brad Allison. Whitaker bounced it off the outside wall, narrowed that truck up by about a good foot, and shoved the rear axle over. You know, Allison looks like he was able to keep it straight and keep it green, but that was a hard shot.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at that now. Dylan Moskowitz in front of them. Moskowitz having connection issues as well as he's blinking too. As, yeah, Whitaker into the wall and big hip check there for Brad Allison. As Allison had to take it down pit road, he's going to get a penalty for that as well. That's going to be salt in the wound for that man.
Yeah, unfortunately unsafe pit entry, but we do stay green.
Yeah. And look at Kyle Gilbert all over the back of Chris Bouchard already. Again, these guys are just trading blows right now, and they're really, really going at it in the early part of this race.
The guy that's really in the catbird seat right now is Kevin Paskawych. He's in the top 10, safely in the top 10, and he's around a good group of trucks that he knows he can run around and not have to really worry too much. And it sounds like Nate Siefker getting ready to bring it down pit side.
Yeah, let's see if he does. No, he doesn't this time round. So, coming out of turn 4, Siefker stays out on track. I'm wondering if he's going next time by. As here comes Tanner Koster to the inside of Kyle Gilbert out of turn 4. Side by side as they come across the line. Koster was sick of waiting behind the 227. Going to keep it down there on the bottom line, but Gilbert going to keep it wound up on the high side. As they come out of 2, who's going to get the better run here? It looks like very even there, as here comes Parker Alexander now to the back of these guys.
As Gilbert was able to use the draft off Bouchard to get the position, and Parker Alexander, thinking about making it 3 wide, ducks in behind Kyle Gilbert, thinks better of it, knows what's at stake, and doesn't want to be that guy. Yep. As Matt Terrell has put it on the hauler, and Brandon Stokes is back at the track.
Good to see him not giving up so soon.
He's only 13 laps down. We've seen it before. You can come back from that. I hope my words don't come back to haunt me, but we've seen it before.
Yes, we have. Meanwhile, Parker Alexander trying to stink up the show here as he is putting an outside pass to Tanner Koster. Koster going to defend down to the bottom of the line there. Parker Alexander from the back of the field up into the top 5 now. And yeah, like I said, really stinking up the show along with Nate Siefker.
Very much so, as Alexander started 21st. John Jenkins started 22nd. And they're already both into the top 6.
Let me see, John Jenkins has just got away from Kevin Paskawych. Paskawych himself, though, putting an outside pass on Robert Dudley here. Can he get around safely? Not quite got the clear now. He does now. And there he goes up into P7. Next person to try and pass Robert Dudley will be Jordan Barry. Got the run going into 3. Not going to make the pass yet, though. Paskawych, yeah, up another position. And like we keep saying, it's a long race. And oh, it's Paskawych in the wall! Paskawych is around! Oh no! Not what you want to see at this point in the race.
Just let it run a little too much coming off of 4 and just ate the safer barrier. And then, you know, unfortunately, Robert Dudley just could not avoid him.
Yeah, absolutely nowhere to go for Robert Dudley. Paskawych, unfortunately, already on the back foot here. Got some damage. He's not got serious damage, but he's definitely got damage there.
He could probably pit farm that and stay on the lead lap and save his fast repair for later. but it's going to be a lot of pit farming to get it back into at least semi-reasonable condition, as this could possibly shake up the running order, as Bob Lacavara just went a lap down, so he's in position to get the free pass.
You see the man in the 5 there. The reigning Pasky's Grand National Series champion. Recently, well, his trophy's on the way, Tony. We saw a picture of it the other day. Looking very stylish, that little trophy he's got coming towards him.
Absolutely, one of the sharpest trophies I've seen in quite a while from an esports series.
Yep, as here they all come.
Well, with 33 laps on their tires, it's not surprising that the vast majority of the lead lap trucks are going to bring it pit side to get for Mr. Feelgood's put on this time.
Yeah. I'm gonna find a decent, but nothing is working. So. Yeah. Great.
The big question right now is how much pit farming is Paskawych going to do as he slides through his pit stall? Is he going to burn the fast repair, or is he burns the fast repair?
Yeah.
Answers that question. He just no question about it. Just burned the fast repair, and he's going to let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, and Nate Siefka's going to win the race off pit road here. Kyle Gilbert going to come out second. Parker Alexander coming out in third. Tanner Koster fourth. Chris Bouchard down in fifth after overshooting his pit box. That's going to hurt him a bit. John Jenkins in sixth. Tyler Vickery in seventh. Jordan Barry eighth. Ninth is Sean Weaver. 10th is James McDavid, who we've not really spoke about tonight, having a very quiet race so far. And Kevin Paskawych rejoins the race back in P11. Butch Frazier, he was at the back of the field for the longest time in that Hooters number 555. He is in 12th. Hoot Baker is in 13th. And Dad Witt is in 14th.
And Brandon Stokes has left the session voluntarily.
Yeah. So decided that 19 laps is a bit too far back now. So
now here's one thing I would like to point out to everybody tonight, as I'm looking through the driver lineups. Paskawych and Kyle Gilbert both have live spotters.
Yes, they do.
Mr. Mark Arthur spotting for Kyle Gilbert. You know, Mark probably one of the what's the phrase I'm looking for here? Well, heavy hitters in the stock car field. So you probably couldn't ask for a much better guy in your ear than Mark Arthur, as far as making the calls of when to pit, who's where, what's going on around you. And another one who's got a really strong sense of spotting prowess is Mr. Joe Morganti, who's spotting for Kevin Paskawych.
Yeah, good to see them both up on the gantry. Would prefer them to be out on track, but equally they've both got just as important of a job here. Mark Arthur and Joe Morganti, very capable drivers. Also very capable spotters, and that's why they're in the gantry here tonight.
Absolutely. As a little shake-up in the running order.
Or the bird's nest, whichever they call it.
Well, potato.
Yeah.
As Francois Pelletier bringing it back down pit road to try to get off cycle, as is his teammate Butch Frazier. So look for them to be making some headway from the back of the pack as this field moves forward. So second verse similar to the first, just a slightly different running order from when we went green. Nate Siefker going to have the button when we go back to green. Kyle Gilbert sitting in second, Tanner Koster and Chris Bouchard third and fourth respectively. So these guys picking right up where they left off before the caution came out, really.
Pretty much. And Bouchard falling back a slight bit due to going a bit too fast into his pit stall and overshooting it slightly. That let Costa and Gilbert get ahead of him, but don't count him out. He won't be back there too far for too long.
Yeah.
He'll be challenging for the top spots.
And we saw Parker Alexander come out in front of Bouchard and Koster, however, caught speeding off.
See that, by the way, he was leaving pit road. It was a bit...
Yeah, he kind of had it a little wound up.
Got a little EOL there as we pace cars off now, about to get them going once again. And Sivka not wasting any time and gets them going. Bouchard gets it going as well. Gears Gilbert a huge bump as they come across the line. And that's let Tanner Koster take that inside line there. And Koster's going to move up to second place here unless Gilbert can pull something magical out the hat here. Comes out of turn 2.
And you can almost feel the frustration level for Chris Bouchard right now, as Gilbert was slightly asleep at the switch when we went back to green.
Gilbert holds on to that second place. Tanner Koster has to settle for third. Bouchard already all over the rear tailgate of the 97 now. And Bouchard driving like a man possessed here. He's already working to the inside of Koster.
I don't think he's driving as hard as we think he is. I'm thinking it's just the fact that he's got the new tires and he can go a little harder than Koster's probably ready to go, because Koster knows how to play long ball himself. And you know, I think Bouchard just wanted to get by him, get clear, and you know, now sets his sights on having at least a little bit of clear track in front of him, so he doesn't have to worry about arrow push.
Yep, as Gilbert and Sivka starting to get away from Bouchard now, so they are first and second respectively. We'll have a bit of an update on Kevin Paskawych. Already back up to P7 now, so making some headway, but he has got to be very, very careful from this point onwards.
Very much so, but he does have a good group of trucks around him. Jordan Berry, we know, won't do anything dumb, shall we say. Same thing with Sean Weaver, and Tyler Vickery is just, you know, trying to hang on to one. And, you know, Tyler knows what's at stake here.
See Jordan Berry right on the tailgate of Paskawych. Paskawych comes very close to the wall coming out of 2. Meanwhile, Chris Bouchard and Tanner Koster still battling out. They've both caught up to the back of Kyle Gilbert now. Sivka's starting to streak away once again as Bouchard takes to the apron to try and gain a bit of time on Gilbert. Not in a passing position just yet, but he's right there.
Within striking distance. And with this top 4, these guys are so consistent that you kind of have to wait for somebody to step on their own junk in order to get by cleanly.
Yeah. As Tanner Koster's right there, John Jenkins is up into the top 5 now. Another man on the chart. Running a different paint scheme again tonight.
Yeah, Jenkins got by Vickery and is now setting his sights on trying to reel, you know, reel this top 5 in, or top 4 in, as Jenkins rocking the National Guard colors. And those guys are punching a huge hole in front of him, so he's getting a great pull down the backstretch here.
Yeah, as there goes Bouchard to the inside of Gilbert. He's finally made his move. Question is, can he make it stick as Gilbert gets a huge run on the outside, getting a push from Tanner Koster. And it looks like Tanner Koster's going to try and follow him through here. Bouchard might be in a bit of trouble.
That ultra low line is not really where you want to be, even if they're only 9 laps into this current stint, as they're 3 wide.
Yeah. Oh, that was very close there. It could have been ended all kinds of poorly, but Tanner Koster backs out of it. And while they're fighting it out here, it's let John Jenkins close up to the back of them now.
And it's let Nate Sivka stretch out to a full second to the good.
Absolutely. He's already out there. You can see him right there just going into turn 1, just as the guys were going through the tri-oval. Gilbert still keeping it wound up on the high side. And Bouchard must be getting frustrated seeing him up there, because he knows that high line is the fastest line around here.
Very much so. As Paskawych gets by Vickery, now sets his sights on trying to reel in everybody in front of him.
Yeah, Vickery's struggling here. He's already got Jordan Barry making a pass on him as well. Barry going for that ultra low line as well, just like Christopher Bouchard, but unfortunately they're not going to make it work, as here goes Tanner Koster now to the inside of Bouchard.
That first lane, especially through 1 and 2, is not where you want to be. all you're doing is just beating the hell out of that right front tire, and it's going to come back to bite you in the butt as we get deeper into a green flag run here.
Yep, and as you saw with actually Tyrrell taking down pit road, we were getting close to green flag pit stops. I think Tyrrell was just trying to beat the traffic here and make a bit of strategy work, but unfortunately he made that mistake going into pit road, which unfortunately ended his race. But the way they're running tonight, I think we can see green flag pit stops here. We've definitely got that in their capabilities, as they're going to be 3 wide coming out of turn 4. Oh, I was wincing at that one.
Scariest phrase you can hear the iRacing spotter say to you is 3 wide, you're the meat. And unfortunately Chris Bouchard was the meat, but luckily kept his foot into it and was able to finally get by Kyle Gilbert as he now tries to bring this freight train up to the tailgate of Nate Siefker, who is already 2 seconds up the road.
Yeah, and while all this is going on, there is one Mr. Kevin Paskawych slowly reeling them in. So we're going to have all 4 chase contenders on the same piece of real estate here very soon, Tony. And that is where it's going to get really exciting.
As if it wasn't exciting enough already, it's definitely, it's going to be put up on the dash time in relatively short fashion here, as you can see Paskawych just stalking these guys right now. He's in the perfect position right this second, because if somebody has an oops, KP's going to have enough time to make a reaction.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Looks like Kyle Gilbert is now behind Tanner Koster, is now trying to fend off John Jenkins. It looks like Gilbert might have burned the goodie off those tyres, because he's fallen back between his 2 arch rivals in this championship now. John Jenkins going to take a look down to the bottom now as they go through 3 and 4.
And Dylan Moskowitz just ate the wall.
And yeah, I can't watch him.
Nope, you're fine. It's just he ate the wall, and as he was going down pit road, hitting the wall for America.
Absolutely. And while you're saying that, let's go back further in the field and see what these guys are up to. Very spread out near the back. Not really any battles going on whatsoever. We've seen one battle going on between 2 teammates here, Johnny Antonucci and Bob Lacavara and Michael Whittaker, all together on the same piece of real estate with Butch Frazier. And I'm noticing that Butch Frazier and Francois Pelletier are both missing a teammate tonight.
They are, and I believe that's because he is actually prepping for this weekend's race at Martinsville.
Yeah. So he's in Virginia right now while these guys are in Kentucky.
And expect to see Frenchie flying out later this week to join him, as Frenchie is on Ray Black Jr.'s real-life pit crew.
Really? It's weird not seeing Ray Black in the Scuba Life car this year.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. But Nate Siefker is still stretching the lead. I don't think he's relaxed 1 second so far. Really trying to make a statement for the season finale here. 2.3 seconds to the good right now.
Yeah, and Siefker, all this racing he's doing right now, all this racing he's doing this week, is in preparation for this week's big race. Other than this one, we've got a big race field this week.
33 cars with 4 alternates, I've been told.
Yeah.
4 alternates for the Top Fuel Racing second ever Indianapolis 500 that's going to take place this coming Wednesday night. First time for the IR18 with the series, so going to be interesting to see how that one's going to play out. But 33 cars going to take the green, or as close as we can get to it, with alternates being there as in case the first 33 who paid in can't get in. So we're going to see a couple new names this coming week, Sam.
Yeah, and Keith Mayato going to be looking to make it 2 from 2 at that race, as last time we were there he managed to claim the victory on his first ever appearance in the Top Fuel Racing in the at Indianapolis for Top Fuel Racing. So Keith Mayato looking to make it 2 from 2, but judging by his
and in 2 different cars too.
Yeah,
because if you remember the last time we were there, it was the final trip to Indy for the DW12 for Top Fuel Racing, and we're going to be in the IR18 this time.
Yeah. Well, let's analyse this for a second. We're going to have a lot of favourites for that race this coming Wednesday. I mean, obviously Sage Karam's going to be right up there. He's going to be one of the favourites, but we've also got the battle for the championship going on whilst that race is going on. We've got Scott Brinson, David Martinez, Sean Scott is going to be up there as well. He's not up there in the championship standings, but he's very much a threat in the races. But David Martinez is there. Nate Seafcroft, we've already mentioned, is going to be there. Tyler Vickery's going to be there. He's already paid in. Joe Morganti's going to be there.
My pick is the dickhead that's driving the 10.
I don't drive the 10, I drive the 11.
Okay, my pick's the dickhead that drives the 11 then. As Dylan Moskowitz taking it pit side, almost out of fuel at 28 laps. So interesting to see that one.
The man on the old
gonna say we're probably gonna see green flag stops relatively soon here.
Well, the man on the oldest tyres right now is Bradley Allison. 33 laps on his tyres now. May have been able to extend it slightly due to the caution we've had, but definitely going long on those tyres, and he's actually battling to get a lap back off Hoot Baker right now. So he's not slowing down at all, despite being on all the tyres here.
Well, Allison is the first car 1 lap down, as Moskowitz goes pit side after having a lot of damage. I'm thinking getting back up to speed really hurt him.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have got a... Oh no, we've still got a battle going on between these guys, as Paskawych has now dropped away from those guys now, so he's... he was on a charge, but I think he's decided, no, I need to save my tyres here. I need to think of the long game.
Absolutely, as John Jenkins now throwing his hat into the ring, as he is now working the tailgate of Chris Bouchard.
Yeah,
and it looks like Johnny Antonucci going to be the first one to blink here, as he just announced he's going pit side.
Yeah, as you see him there coming out of turn 2. Let's see if he actually does bring a pit side. We've got Dylan Moskowitz just coming out of pit road right there. And no, he's not going to bring a pit side.
Probably couldn't get down low enough quick enough. So
yeah, he was on the high line. So we're going to go back to the battle between Bouchard, Jenkins and Koster. Koster and Gilbert actually falling a bit behind the battle between Bouchard and Jenkins. Jenkins on the bottom line there, looking to take that second place away and then try and chase down Nate Seeker, who's already 2.7 seconds up the road. It's going to be a bit difficult to catch him now, but this is John Jenkins we're talking about. There we go.
And just getting confirmation that these guys are allowed to pit off of 4, so they don't need to use the access road. Expect green flag stops to start happening relatively soon here. Parker Alexander was asking and did get an answer, so looks like he's getting ready to go pit side sometime soon, as Brad Allison looks like he's taking it pit side.
No, he's still out of track.
No, he's just blinking badly.
Yeah.
As is Bob Lacavara.
Server problems, yay. And while we're cycling through the field, we're still going back to this battle for second place, which is still raging on. I mean, we're 64 laps into this race, and the biggest battle out on track right throughout this whole shindig so far has been for second place, and they've been the closest. That's been the closest battle all night long. They're still all bunched together, and Parker Alexander, he's going to be catching up to that pack very soon, as he's already made his way back up to 6th place. He's got past Paskawych. Paskawych has now fallen into 7th place. I think Paskawych is playing the long game here. That's why he's dropped back a bit.
Safe bet. As one of the admins just muted a driver.
Always fun.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, John Jenkins has finally made his way up to 2nd place and has already started to gap Chris Bouchard. And I think Nate Siefka has just become the hunted here, because John Jenkins has already taken a 1/10 of a second out of his lead. But Siefka's got to watch in his mirrors now as John Jenkins sets sail after the number 2. Bouchard has actually started to check out from Tanner Koster and Kyle Gilbert. So Bouchard, as it stands right now, is going to be a champion if it stays like this, but it won't. We know it won't. So he's in the catbird seat right now, but it's a long race. It's still, actually, we're only just coming up to halfway, so anything can happen between now and lap 150.
Very much so, as that same driver who had his chat muted just referred to the admin who muted him as a communist and got muted again.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's going to be one of them nights.
Yay! Tension's running high.
Not really, especially considering the driver's 4 laps down.
Okay, I know which driver you're talking about now.
Yeah. Oh God! If you guys could only hear the in-race chatter from the drivers, Nate Siefker jokingly referring to John Jenkins is using a grip hack as he's reeling him in hand over fist right now.
Yep, as we're still focused on this battle for 3rd place here. Parker Alexander's caught up right to the back of Tanner Koster and Kyle Gilbert. Almost tried to make it 3 wide there as he's pushing the living daylights out of Koster right now. And that's helping Koster get wound up on the high side. No, Parker Alexander's going to try and make it 3 wide as they come out of turn 2. Not what you want to see here, especially when there's 2 chase contenders involved.
Well, Parker thought about making it 3 wide there, but backed out of it because Parker's been around long enough that he knows he doesn't want to be, quote, that guy.
He's going to try and be that guy because he almost tried to make it 3 wide again there.
He's begging those guys to just give him a hole.
Yeah.
As Koster slips high, that gives Alexander the hole he was looking for. As they're side by side hauling it off into turn number 3.
Yeah, and just as that happens, Kyle Gilbert comes to the bottom of the track to defend. That cuts off the momentum from Parker Alexander. Gilbert, it's into the wall. He's going to lose the momentum for himself now. And that is going to hurt the 227. As you see, he now has that damage on the right front of his car.
The damage on the entire right side. He narrowed that truck up by about a foot. So he's going to be in trouble in clean air.
Yeah, and Adam Baker asked in the live chat, who are the 4 in the chase? They are the 2 you see on your screen right now, Tanner Koster and Kyle Gilbert. the man that is in third place right now, Mr. Chris Bouchard, who's got a 1.4 second gap over Parker Alexander, and the final guy in the chase is that man in P7, Mr. Kevin Paskawych. Already had some drama tonight after being involved in the first caution there tonight.
And Tyler Vickery, the first one to blink under green, 39 laps into this fuel stint. Tyler Vickery bringing it pit side.
Yeah, good call. Going to put himself up on the strategy boards here, as he is the first man to bring it pit side. Question is, who out of the lead pack are going to be the first ones to bring it down?
And Jenkins has caught Siefker.
Yeah, and he's passed him as well. They're side by side as they come out of two. We weren't paying attention to this. We are now. And Siefker going to keep it wound up on the high side as they go into turn 3. They're still side by side as they go through 3 and 4. Coming out of 4 now. Who's going to get the lap here? Jenkins going to get the run on the bottom. Gets a bit of a wiggle, does Nate Siefker. Down towards the line. Give that lap to the 2. But Jenkins has caught him and he's given it a good go for the lead here. I said earlier that Nate Siefker has now become the hunted, and the hunted has just been caught.
The hunted has just been caught, and John Jenkins looking to make a statement after getting eliminated at Bristol. Definitely looking to make a statement here tonight saying, hey, you guys got lucky that I got eliminated, because if I hadn't been, this would have been the outcome, as Jenkins just powers it through 1 and 2 and through 3 and 4 and gets the lead as they come to the stripe.
Yep, so Jenkins is now your new leader. Siefker not going to let him have it that easily though, as he's still right on the tail of the 25.
But you got to wonder, with as hard as Siefker was running early, does he have any tires left under that Sitco number 2?
Well, that's the problem. They're 42 laps on their tyres. Jenkins running back in the pack has probably been able to save them a bit more easier than Siefker. And that is the end result. Siefker's fallen back to second place now. Chris Bouchard running in very much clean air, as he's actually being caught by Parker Alexander now. He's moved up to 4th place.
Alexander's moved up to 4th place, and Chris Bouchard is starting to reel in Nate Siefker.
Yeah.
And Antonucci makes the announcement he's going pit side, so he's going to be the second one to blink. And yellow is out.
Oh, wow. I don't see who that is. James McDavid and Jordan Barry? No? I don't see it. Oh no. Was it Johnny Antonucci trying to come down to pit road and it brought out the caution?
No, Kyle Gilbert spun and there was no caution. We go back to lap 76, coming off of 4. Siefker ate the wall, and unfortunately there was no caution, and the admins actually threw one there.
Oh wow, so throwing Gilbert a lifeline pretty much.
And there's a couple of unhappy drivers who were looking for pit strategy, and the other admin said, keep it up and you won't be here anymore. So that got squashed very quickly.
A lot of people with big mouths out there tonight.
I've noticed that. Speaking of big mouths, maybe that driver should be unable or unmuted.
Meanwhile, Francois Pelletier and Butch Fraser both staying out on 43 lap old tyres. No bonus points for you guys, so not sure why you're staying out.
I'm thinking they're just looking to get off cycle with everybody. As Kyle Gilbert pit farming that truck right now.
He's still got his fast repair, so not sure why he's pit farming it instead of...
I'm thinking he wants to save his fast repair for the very end.
Yeah, might be a good idea.
Because we know we haven't seen the last of the yellow birdies.
Yeah, as big news from the pit stop, Chris Bouchard wins the race off pit road. Nate Siefka falling all the way back to P8 now. Big mistake there by the two. So Bouchard is your effective leader here as Pelletier and Frazier take it down pit road. Jenkins is in second, Tanner Koster is in third, Parker Alexander fourth, and up to the top 5 now is Kevin Paskawych, just ahead of Nate Siefka there, who's... Wow.
Excuse me, Sam, I'll be right back.
Okay, okay. And while these guys are turning their laps and pacing, we're going to take a bit of a caution of our own and take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with some more racing action live here on Beaufort Broadcasting with the with the PHight Club 225 from Kentucky. Don't go anywhere.
And he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save.
Look to the outside as Tronke goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Nice trying. There's contact though.
slide left of the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact. He's going to try and make the move around the outside the Paravolka. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the Paravolka. That's beautifully done there. Paskawych, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
And we are live back here at Kentucky for the PHight Club 225, and we are past halfway now. We're about to get them going to green again. Tony, I think it's your turn to get us going, buddy.
Bouchard has the button. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Bouchard has the button. Tanner Koster sitting outside row number 1. Parker Alexander, who's been on a charge, sitting inside row number 2, and he's right next to our now third chase contender, Kevin Paskawych. Let's see if Paskawych can capitalize on starting up towards the front this time. As the field working its way through the 3-4 complex, pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn onto pit road. Bouchard has control of the field, rolls into it, and we are back underway from the PHight Club 225 season finale for season 2 of the Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series.
Yeah, and it's been very good racing here so far tonight. As Bouchard already almost half a second up the road here. Great restart there by the man in the 28. Tanner Koster holding off dear lively ahead of Parker Alexander, who is determined to get up to that top 2. Not had it all his own way so far, as there goes Paskawych to the inside of Alexander. Not going to make the
and Paskawych had some friendly faces around him. Teammate Nate Siefka right on his tailgate. You know, Nate's not going to do anything crazy, knowing that KP is running for a championship.
Absolutely. As he's stuck right behind him, it looks like he's going to try and give him a push here. And like you said, this is not a drafting track, but you can get a bit of a draft if you're in the right situation. And I think Nate Siefka's going to try and point him in that situation right now.
Not so much, as he just bombs it to the inside in turn number 3 and says, yeah, KP, you're on your own.
Pretty much. As Paskawych files in behind the 2. Robert Dudley up to P6 now. He's just filing right behind them there.
And Kyle Gilbert mired in traffic right now, sitting in 13.
Yeah, he needs to make his way to the field and quickly if he wants to get back up there. He did burn his fast repair in the end by the looks of things, so... Or did he?
He did not.
No, he didn't. I can still see the damage. With that damage though, is that going to hurt him? As Hoot Baker gets in the way of Gilbert now. Oh, that could have ended all kinds of badly. And if you're not a chase contender, you don't have to get out of the way of the chases, but it would be the gentlemanly thing to do, but it's racing, so...
All's fair in love and motorsports. As Nate Seifker given the Atlanta Braves chop to Parker Alexander, and Alexander went, what? Hey, you're a little young for that one, Junior.
So...
it came down to Ryan Newman and I believe it was Kevin Harvick. They were running 1 and 2 at Homestead in the Cup Series in real life, and Newman had actually pointed his way to that season finale, and unfortunately, you know, Kevin Harvick won the season finale to win the championship. Had that not happened, had it been anybody else leading that event, you know, it would have been Ryan Newman not winning a race the entire season and claiming the championship. But in this situation, Chris Bouchard has won a race, Tanner Koster has won a race, Kevin Paskawych has won a race, and Kyle Gilbert has won a race. So we're not quite in that situation. Is Nate Seifker to the inside of Tanner Koster right now. Seifker looking to try to, you know, throw a monkey wrench into the works right now.
Yeah, as this battle is actually letting Bouchard get away now. It's 1.1 seconds to the good with Nate Seifker, like you said, throwing a monkey wrench into the proceedings here. As they're both starting to gap, Parker Alexander now is starting to take it easy. Kevin Paskawych is right there, but he is being hounded right now by Robert Dudley.
And we know Robert Dudley's one of those guys that he's not going to do anything completely crazy. Usually caught up in other people's dumpster fires is the driver of the ALS of Alabama, number 49.
You see that on the side of Robert Dudley's truck. The ALS Association, the Alabama chapter. Remember, a few months ago we held a special charity race in honour of that charity, and it was a complete success, and it's good to see that he's still got those logos on his car and still pushing to raise money for such a great fund.
Well, you also have to remember that Robert, unfortunately, last December lost his sister to ALS. Yeah. So it's a cause that, you know, really is close to his heart. And understandably so. And that's one of the good things I love about e-auto, you know, the esports and especially the iRacing leagues that you and I are a part of. You know, anytime a charity comes up and says, "Hey, here's the situation. What do you need from us?" Every league we've been involved in has been willing to do that. You know, we saw it. Well, let's go back. Being as tonight is sponsored by Men's Fight Club. Mind you, that's Fight Club with a PH. When Addis passed away, there was a lot of charity work done that entire week by every league that we broadcast for. You know, we let them know, hey, here's the situation, and the leagues are, what do you need us to do? And there was, fortunately, a lot of good intentions and a lot of awareness brought to pulmonary hypertension that week, as well as I believe there was some funds raised, if I'm not mistaken, Sam.
Yeah, and that was a good race and a good cause to be shown towards. And just a reminder, this race is being brought to you by the PH Men's Fight Club. You can find them on Facebook. They're a group of men suffering from pulmonary hypertension and are an affiliate of PH Aware. And just remember, as an advisory, PH Aware is one. We do support PH Aware very strongly with BOFA, and
one of the most difficult to diagnose terminal illnesses on the planet, due to the fact that it masks itself as so many other terminal illnesses. But usually, by the time doctors can put the pieces together and say, okay, this is what you definitively have, the only course of action left is a double lung transplant.
Absolutely. So if you want more information, or even if you want to throw out a bit of a donation and help raise funds to find a cure for pulmonary hypertension, then go to phaware.global. So let's go back to the race in action here.
Well, real quick, Sam, the one thing I do want to mention, the other way that you can help is become an organ donor.
Absolutely.
In the United States, it's very simple. Whenever you sign up for your driver's license, just check that little box that says all usable organs, and you know, you might not be able to use them anymore, but you know, at the end of your life, perhaps you could help save somebody with whatever usable organs you have left.
Absolutely. And if you want to become an organ donor, then there is an organ donor hotline, I believe. So I don't know the number off the top of my head, but you can find them on Google. Type in organ donor hotline and get yourself signed up if you want to become an organ donor.
And like I said, in the States, the United States, it's very simple. Just check the box when you sign up for your driver's license, or whenever you renew your driver's license. Yes, I want to be an organ donor.
That too. Or if you're filling out your medical forms as well, I think you can do it as well.
Very much so.
Anyway, let's go back to the race. We're just keeping tabs on Kyle Gilbert. Already has made his way back up to the top 10, and he's chasing down Mike Whitaker for the 9th spot. So the man in the 227 already making his way through the field. And
Mike Whitaker had just a heartbreaker last week, as he was one of the round of 8. Unfortunately, did get eliminated from Bristol.
Yeah, an early retirement for the man in the 707, putting pay to his championship aspirations last week. Usually one of the guys that actually sneaks his way into the final 4. Unfortunately, he did it last season, unfortunately unable to do it this season. But hopefully he'll be back next season and putting his name in the hat for a championship season next season. As stay tuned, because we are going to have announcements of next season's Truck Series and the Paskies Grand National Series. Oh yes, that's going to be returning next season. Do not forget, we will be bringing you that back to you. We're going to have new dates, new times, and hopefully next season a new champion. Meanwhile, Chris Bouchard still manages to lead. There is 2 seconds to the good over Nate Siefka right now, who's 0.3 of a second to the good over Tanner Koster. Parker Alexander has actually managed to catch this duo right now, and he's chasing them down for that 2nd spot. Kevin Paskawych still holding on to the top 5 spot there. He's 3rd in the chase standings as it stands right now, as we are now 50 laps to go before the end of this race, Tony.
Very much so, as connection issues seem to be going around right now. Nate Siefka having issues, Tyler Vickery being told he has issues, as you know, not what you want to see, especially when you're running 180 miles an hour side by side with somebody in one of these trucks here at Kentucky. It looks like a big wide open track until it's not.
Absolutely. Just looking at Tyler Vickery there, he's got Francois Pelletier working to his inside. As the side by side going through turns 3 and 4, Dylan Moskowitz is right behind him, but he is 4 laps down. Not going to stop Moskowitz trying to put a pass on these guys as Vickery and Frenchie almost come together there. As there goes Moskowitz right to the inside and passes them both like they're standing still.
And Moskowitz was another one who got eliminated last week. Unfortunately, was not able to make it to Bristol.
No, he wasn't. As he,
Moskowitz and Vickery are both blinking heavily, so this is not good for Frenchie.
It's not good for our cameras either, so let's go and focus on something else.
Kyle Gilbert already up to 8th, and he's gotten by James McDavid and Mike Whitaker.
Yeah, and he's working on the inside of Sean Weaver now, so Gilbert is on a charge now. And Gilbert up to P7 as he passes Weaver very easily, I must say. I think Weaver just gave it to him, to be fair.
Okay, so we've got a Krispy Kreme truck, a Chick-fil-A truck, Whataburger truck, And people wonder why I get the munchies every time I broadcast a Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series race.
Yeah. And if you're feeling thirsty, there's a monster truck back there as well with Frenchie. As Dylan Moskowitz goes through the grass. And Frenchie and Moskowitz must have got into it there. As the caution comes out, let's take a look. Pelletier going through turns 3 and 4. Oh no, that was Vickery that got into it. And it unsettled the truck of Pelletier. Moskowitz going for the grass. So that was enough to bring out caution number 3 here. As no, that's what brought out the caution. Moskowitz had headlong into the wall there.
Narrowed up that Whataburger number 4 by about a good 2 feet.
Yeah. And it was all, the whole melee was started by Tyler Vickery just drifting up into the wall out of turn 4.
Well, he was trying to give Pelletier plenty of room because he knew he was blinking and didn't want to really hold up the Monster Energy number 19, and just unfortunately gave a little too much room and ran out of room himself doing it. But speaking of Monster, if you ever get a chance, there is a new Monster Fruit Punch out, Sam, if you guys can get it over there.
Oh, I've already tried it. It's very nice.
I just wish they'd come out with a sugar-free version, because I can't do all of the sugars that are in a normal Monster.
Is it in a dark red can?
No.
Oh, the one that the fruit punch version.
It's in a tan can with red lettering.
That's it. That's what's just come out over here, and I've tried it. It's very nice. And yeah, it would be good if they came out with a sugar-free version though.
Me personally, and they laugh at me at work because generally I go through about 4 sugar-free orange Monsters a day.
Yeah.
So
race off pit road. Looks like Nate Siefka's going to win the race off pit road here, and he does.
Just barely edging out Chris Bouchard. Tanner Koster right there, Kevin Paskawych right there, Kyle Gilbert up to 6th.
Yeah. And it looks like everybody got away clean. Just some people are out of pit road faster than others. John Jenkins has been mired in the pack for the longest time now. Not sure what's going on with the man in the number 25, but he's just sitting back there right now and not really making any progress at the moment. As yet, all 4 of your chase drivers here pretty much all together now.
They're within striking distance of each other. This is what we were kind of hoping for. About 45 laps earlier than we expected it to happen, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be real interesting to see if. Oh God. I'm listening to the in-race chatter, and some of the stuff that's being said is just. Oh, thank goodness you have it on mute.
I have to for PG-13 reasons.
That's what I'm saying. It's funny, but it's funny.
Okay.
So, yeah, Bouchard sitting in 2nd. Tanner Koster going to restart in 3rd. Paskawych going to restart in 4th, and Paskawych is going to have Kyle Gilbert right on his tailgate.
Yeah.
In 6th.
I'm going to reach out to somebody here and throw the jinx on him. So, I hope you're ready.
Who are we throwing the jinx on?
We are throwing the jinx on Mr. Nate Siefka. Sam up in the booth, you got me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Nate, leading this piece as we go into the next green flag run here. On your return to the Paskawych Truck Series, how are you feeling out there? And you're looking to stink up the show here tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. It feels good to be in front of all these chase guys, but you know, my thought process is if I stay out in front of them, I can't mess with them. So that's kind of why I'm leaning as much as I can. So I mean, it's good to be back, and it's, you know, after working every Monday since then, but it's good to be back. I can't wait to, you know, continue this and hopefully stay out and lead the next 40 laps, but we'll see.
Well, Nate, real quick, how bad is the tire fall off?
It's not good. It's not pretty, but it's not awful per se. It's a lot better than what I expected for temperatures. Tires, it's about a tenth or so every 2 laps. So a lot of times go down dramatically. It's going to be a matter of who can save the tires the most.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll let you get back to it, Nate. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, guys.
As lights are out on the pace car, Seifker going to have the butt, and Chris Bouchard restarting in second. Chase contender. Tanner Koster, chase contender, starting in third. Kevin Paskawych, chase contender, starting in fourth. And then you have Gilbert starting in sixth.
Hey, I love hearing you guys, but I...
Oh, shit. Sorry, Nate.
All right, see you guys.
As we're about to go to green here, pace car's going to make that hard left turn here. And see...
Home horn at Koster going, hey, either move or be moved, and a little bit of both happened, as now they're side by side coming across the stripe. Give that lap to Koster by 2/1000ths of a second. Paskawych still working the inside as they haul up into turn number 1.
Yeah, and while all this is happening, as Paskawych comes up the track, Koster almost into the wall there. They are throwing bombs at each other as we are coming up to 40 laps to go here. We are 40 laps to go, I do apologise. The Paskawych taking away third place there, but that's let Chris Bouchard get away. Crucially, he has got a few car lengths ahead of these guys, and he's in the captain seat, and he's putting a challenge on Nate Seifker right now.
Bouchard challenging Seifker, but Koster and Paskawych in lockstep right now as they get into each other coming off a 2.
Yeah, they're fighting each other. They should be working together and getting up ahead. Paskawych has lost a ton of momentum here. He's being freight trained. There goes Kyle Gilbert to the inside. Here comes John Jenkins as well. Paskawych in trouble here, Tony.
Paskawych with a ton of damage on that left front corner as he got into the right rear of Koster.
So Paskawych having issues here late on in this race. He's going to work to the inside of Kyle Gilbert, but it's really hurting at this point as he's working on the back of John Jenkins now. Everybody's still bunched together in the second pack now, being led by Parker Alexander. Nate Seifker is still your overall leader. There's 3 wide as they go through 3 and 4, and John Jenkins just gets a 2-for-1 sale there.
Jenkins got a 2-for-1, but that was mostly due to the fact that Parker Alexander just told him, guys, go inside, I'll give it to you. I'm not trying to hold up anybody right now, as that's Robert Dudley getting by Paskawych.
Paskawych is falling backwards.
Paskawych is still falling backwards. A ton of damage on the left front of the Exelon Daractilian number 7.
Yeah. Also sponsored by PHight. He's falling backwards, and Weaver and Parker Alexander not really closing up to the back of him, so I'm wondering if this is giving Paskawych a chance to take a breather and hopefully get himself back up there. But that damage on the front left of his car gonna be hurting him in the long run. Meanwhile, back at the front, Chris Bouchard all over the rear tailgate of Nate Seifker as they make their way through 3 and 4, Tony.
The Seifker able to put that truck where he can cause some aero push on Bouchard. Bouchard's going to have to be smart about this one. Doesn't need to win the battle to win the war. Just needs to be there at the end. And I'm thinking he's thinking what we're thinking. Just going to try to ride right now and conserve that truck because we still have the money stop to come.
Yeah, but he also needs to be careful because it looks like Tanner Koster is starting to reel these guys in now. And that is not what Bouchard wants to see when another yellow number truck comes up behind you like Tanner Koster is right now. He's got the gap down to half a second. Koster is on his way back to the top of the top 2 now.
Koster on his way back forward as this is going to get exciting.
Yeah.
You know, Koster wants it. Bouchard wants it. Bouchard, we saw, just barely got edged out by Ronnie Osmer last season. So he's looking to, really make a statement right now. And Nate Seifker looking to make a statement that the only reason he's not in the chase is because he had to work Mondays.
Yeah. Thankfully, he's back here tonight. And really stinking up the show. He's holding up Chris Bouchard, I believe. A little bit. As Koster is closing in even more.
Actually, they're starting to gap Koster now. It was 6.3. Now it's 6.4. As Koster makes up a little bit of ground, brings it down to 6 flat.
Yeah, and John Jenkins.
6 tenths. We're talking, folks.
Yeah, John Jenkins right there in that P4 spot. Not really making any headway. I did say he was mired back in the pack, but he soon made his way up to the top 5. Kyle Gilbert, he's currently mired in a battle with Robert Dudley right now. It looks like Kyle Gilbert did finally take that fast repair, so he's got to be careful from this point onwards. Dudley going to try and work to the inside there. Kevin Paskawych is caught up to the back of these guys as well.
And Kyle Gilbert still has not burned his fast repair. There's still a little bit of damage on the right front of the Top Flight computers, number 227.
Oh, so he's been pit farming.
He has been pit farming the daylights out of that truck.
Still working on that high side with Robert Dudley trying to take the position away from him. Back at the front, Chris Bouchard still putting Nate Seifler under pressure, not able to find a gap as they're coming up to the back of Tyler Vickery, I believe. Yes, they are.
And Vickery just had a moment coming off of 4, went through the grass down pit road and had to have a black flag cleared for unsafe pit entrance.
Yeah, so let's see what sort of action this throws up as Vickery is going to be put a lap down here. As Vickery blinks out again right in front of the leader. Oh dear. I don't know what to say.
I don't even know where he is.
There he is. No, there he is. There. No, he's got again. There. Anyway, Vickery backs off and he's going to bring it down pit road again. I think he's just going to call it right there as Bouchard's still right behind. Tanner Koster now has company in the shape of John Jenkins. So we've got 2 separate battles going on here. One for the lead and one for 3rd place. Behind them, we've still got a battle here between Gilbert, Dudley and, well, Paskawych has fallen away a bit. That damage is starting to hurt him now.
And Tyler Vickery has put it on the hauler.
Let's go back a bit further into the field. Let's take a look at Mr. Parker Alexander. He is still there in 8th place, opted not to take part in this lead battle. And he is pretty much all on his own now in 8th place. James McDavid up to 9th now, so he's having a good run here tonight. And Jordan Barry in that awesome paint scheme. I still can't thank him enough for that one. Rounding out your top 10 here, Tony.
Paint scheme of the night.
Yeah.
As Bouchard dives into the inside at Seifler going through 3. Makes it stick, and Seifler's starting to get the blinkies.
Yeah. So Bouchard has the lead of the championship and the race now. And I know you said earlier you don't have to win the battle to win the war, but if you won the battle and the war at the same time, that makes it even more special, doesn't it?
It does. It kind of, puts the exclamation point on the war that you're able to, win the battle and the war in one fell swoop. Nate Seifler not letting him get away, but all that battling has let Tanner Koster and John Jenkins close right up to the back of these 2.
Yeah, John Jenkins going to try and play spoiler here, though. He's going to try and dive into the inside of Koster. Koster runs it very wide through 1 and 2. Got into the marbles there, and that's let John Jenkins take the position away. And Tanner Koster, he's got to be livid right now. He was like, done all that hard work to get up to the back of Chris Bouchard, and it's just basically just gone out the window by him getting into the marbles.
I think it was more of a self-preservation move, as he wasn't 100%. He knew Jenkins was there, wasn't 100% sure where he was, and just decided to give a lot of room and knew where he had to put it. And that 3rd lane seems to be working for Tanner. Giving up a little bit coming through 1 and 2, but through 3 and 4 is really where you want to be.
John Jenkins now is caught up to the back, and Nate Siefke is going to put the two under pressure now. And with the run that Jenkins is having, there's got to be a tiny bit of frustration in there, as he was just picked to the Final Four last week at Bristol, as he makes a move to the inside of Siefke. On a couple of occasions last week, John Jenkins was in the Final Four, but for that last wreck near the end, it just eliminated him, and that was heartbreaking enough. But yeah, with him being as strong as he is tonight, he really must be frustrated that he could have been in this Final Four tonight.
Absolutely. You see him working to the inside of Siefke now, and looking to get a two for Bouchard. Now going to have to play some defense, as Jenkins making that low line work, surprisingly, especially with 22 laps on their tires. You know, Jenkins, as far as tire conservation goes, Jenkins seems to be one of the better at being able to keep the tires under the truck and still have the speed.
Yeah, as Jenkins now into second place. Tanner Koster starting to fall away from these guys. And with 21 laps to go, you don't want to lose the sight of the leader, which is the man that is he's challenging for the championship, as Koster runs wide coming out of two, but that's actually giving him a bit of momentum. He's going to close it to the back of Siefke here. Not by too much.
As Jenkins dives to the inside of Bouchard. Bouchard trying to keep it wound up on that second lane. Gives plenty of room, and Jenkins is going to take the spot as they come across the stripe.
Yeah, Jenkins started in 22nd position here tonight and has found his way all the way up to the lead here. And we have a new leader in the shape of the 25, John Jenkins, on one hell of a run tonight. So again, got to be frustrating for him.
Got to be very frustrating. He's looking to send a message to the field saying, hey, if it hadn't been for, you know, if it hadn't been for a driver who's no longer with the league, I probably would be in the top four right now.
There is Jenkins. Bouchard, though, finding himself under pressure here, as here comes Koster and Siefke. And not too far behind are Gilbert and Paskawych. If those guys have, as you would call it, an oops, either one of those drivers could be right up there as well.
Absolutely, and the thing is, we still have not seen the money stop.
Yeah, we're 19 laps to go here. Tanner Koster is trying to get around Nate Siefke here. And Nate Siefke could really be in a bit of trouble here if he tries to spoil this championship fight, as he's blocking the daylights out of Koster right now.
I wouldn't say he's blocking him as more as he's taking the defensive line.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's got to be frustrating if you're Tanner Koster, knowing that you can get to Chris Bouchard, but you've got Nate Siefke in the way.
Yeah. I mean, the championship is right there in front of him, but there's a truck in the way. He just can't get past. Tanner Koster is trying everything as he comes out of two, gets a run. Going to try and dive it to the inside here. Doesn't actually follow through with the move here. Sticks in behind Siefke. Going to try the outside now as they come through 3 and 4. Still not going to make it happen, as Siefke gets a better run through 4. And Tanner Koster just trying everything to try and get past Nate Siefke here. It's just not working right now, Tony.
Not working, and I can tell you right now, the frustration level's got to be ramping up very quickly for Tanner Koster. You wonder how much longer he's going to be able to stay patient and stay behind Nate Siefke, you know, with Siefke running the defensive line that he's running.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, John Jenkins has stretched his lead out to 1.2. Chris Bouchard is 0.3 to the good over Siefke, and 0.4 to the good over Tanner Koster.
Yeah. And while Koster, meanwhile, he tries the outside line going through the corner there. Is he going to try and get it as he comes out of 2? He's going to get a very big run out of 2, but Siefke shuts the door in his face there.
Slide job, slide job. Sorry, I had to go there.
I'll say, all right, Junior, calm down.
Crying in Italy.
as Koster's still trying. He's right on the rear tailgate. Oh, I thought he was going to try and move him then.
And the thing is, even with all this battling, Kyle Gilbert they're still gapping Gilbert.
Are they? It looks to
And
me.
Koster gives Siefker a shot going into 3.
Yeah, he wants by in a bad way, and Koster getting frustrated there. I saw something coming up there on the last lap. He was right on his rear tailgate and not moving anywhere. He wants to move him out of the way and move him out of the way as quickly as possible.
I think he's trying to figure out how to do it and not take himself out while doing it.
Yeah. That's a good run coming out of turn 2. What can he do here? And the answer is nothing.
Meanwhile, with all this battling, Chris Bouchard is starting to walk away now. And he still is not reeling in John Jenkins, but he is starting to gap Nate Siefker.
Yeah. And this is working perfectly for Chris Bouchard.
Oh, Siefker's sideways.
Oh, that's let Tanner Koster up to there as well.
There's the caution.
We've got a caution. Gilbert's in it. Gilbert's championship aspirations are over. As I'm going to assume that might have been an incident between...
Koster gave him a shot. Koster gave him a shot going into 1.
Take a look at that. Going across the line there. And I did say Koster wanted by in the worst kind of way. And Koster moves him. And you can't say that's malicious, because at the end of the day, he's racing for a championship, and if someone's in the way, you're going to move. That's not in the chase.
And you were 11 to go.
Yeah.
So it's go time. And Koster had to get by him to try to reel in Chris Bouchard.
And under NASCAR regulations, that's a legal move.
Now here's the catch on this one. Kyle Gilbert hasn't burned his fast repair.
But he's technically still in it.
He's very much still in it. He's out of gas.
Who's out of gas?
Kyle.
Oh no.
He is out of gas. That truck is not running. Or he blew the engine. Let me go look. He did. He twiffed the engine going onto pit road.
Can he make it to his pit stall though? That's the question. And he does. So very lucky man in the 227. Gets that fast repair. How lucky does he feel right now?
Well, he's going to lose a ton of spots, and there's not a whole lot of racing left to go.
For Gilbert, he's going to have the last 2 laps of his life here tonight.
13th is where he comes out.
Yeah, he's going to do he's going to have to do a lot of passing if he wants to get back up in that championship fight. But this is where it gets tasty, though. Tanner Koster wins the race off pit road, Tony.
He did. It hit the spot more perfect than Chris Bouchard was able to. 14 flat to a 14.3.
Yeah.
So Tanner Koster gonna have the button when we go back to green.
And don't count out the man behind him. Kevin Paskawych is there in P5. He could still throw his hat into this ring. Yeah, he's got a bit of damage, but he's won at Kentucky before. He won the last time we were here, and he knows how to get it done. I think he had a damaged truck last time as well, so don't count out Paskawych as we're going to come to these final few laps of this race.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what does take place here. As we know, the frustration level of Tanner Koster is through the roof right now, as he was not able to get by Nate Siefker cleanly. He was frustrated. He tried to give him the bump and run, and unfortunately Siefker wasn't able to hang on to it. Kyle Gilbert's got to be, ready to kick puppies right now, as he's now, down in 12. And Kevin Paskawych, he's got to hope for a miracle, basically, as he's not had the speed in the Attilian number 7 tonight.
Yeah, but with just a few laps to go, anything could happen between now and the checkered flag. You do not want to go anywhere for this final part of the race. We have got a few people watching right now, and get your friends and family involved, because you're not going to want to miss this last portion of the race now. We've got
very much so.
We've got 2 chase contenders slugging it out at the top.
Very much so, as you know, got to say hi to Adam Baker. Got to say what's up to Mike Lawler, who's checking in tonight. Hopefully, going to see both of you guys on Wednesday night.
Travis Brown as well.
Travis Brown, how you doing? As the lights go out on the Ford Mustang GT pace car.
Next flag ends it.
Koster gonna have the button. Next flag is gonna end it.
And I apologise, we've not paid much attention to a few of the drivers in this field, but how can you pay attention to like everybody when you've got such an awesome battle going on here? I mean, you've got 2 chase contenders fighting out for a championship in the 1st and 2nd spot. You've got 1 not so far back in the top 5 there. As we're coming round for the final, what potentially could be the final restart of the race here. They're coming through 3 and 4. Tony, I'm going to give this one to you. You can get them going.
Pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. Koster going to have the button. Chris Bouchard needs to have the restart of his career right here. As Koster rolls into it, Bouchard a little bit asleep at the switch. Here comes Paskawych to the inside of John Jenkins, and we are back underway. Koster has control. Bouchard looks to the inside. Side by side through 1 and 2. Bouchard and Koster slugging it out, leaning on each other.
What a battle we're seeing here. Kevin Paskawych up to 3rd place as well now. We've got a 3-way battle for the championship here at Kentucky. Koster has the lead. Bouchard is in 2nd. Paskawych backing off to defend against John Jenkins and Mark Alexander. Here comes Bouchard down through the bottom line, through into turn 1, and takes away the lead from Tanner Koster. Koster going to try and keep him wound up on the high side as to come out of turn 2. Who is going to take the advantage here? Bouchard has the lead for now. We are going to come to 5 laps to go in the line here, Tony.
Bouchard's got to keep Koster in his rearview mirror. Got to know exactly what he's thinking. Going to have to protect the line to the best of his ability while still keeping it wound up. Bouchard is going to have to just, reckon, I'm hearing.
Chad Witt, reckon, on.
And Dylan Moskowitz.
Yeah.
So they stay green. They get them both down to the apron and keep them there.
Yeah, but we're still seeing this battle for the championship here. Paskawych is falling backwards again, though. Big problems for the 7. But here we go. Tanner Koster is right behind Bouchard. Is he going to try the same tactic as he tried with Safka to bring out the last caution? We're not seeing it so far. As here comes Parker Alexander now, trying to throw his hat into the ring. Can he play spoiler in this championship fight? He backed off last time. Doesn't seem to be backing off this time. Bouchard is still keeping out in front. Tanner Koster falling to about a car length, truck length back, but he's going to wind it up, and we're going to try and see a photo finish here for the victory here, I feel, as Tanner Koster going to bomb it into turn 3 and 4. Try and get
not close enough to make it stick, as Bouchard still able to keep it wound up on that 2nd lane. Bouchard in control of the field. As we are 3 to go, Koster going to have 1 more shot at him. He's got to reel him back in to take that shot. Bouchard driving for his life right now, keeping his foot as hard on the floor as he can possibly put it, probably denting the floorboard without hard he's pushing that gas pedal down.
Yeah, meanwhile, back in the field, Carl Gilbert is making his way through the field. He's already passed Jordan Barry. He's working on the back of Robert Dudley. He's almost to the back of Kevin Paskawych, and Carl Gilbert flying through the field right now to try and catch up to this lead battle, but it's already going down between the top 2. Chris Bouchard has 2 car lengths over Tanner Koster right now and looks to be in the captaincy. Koster has to really put his foot to the floor and do something about this as Parker Alexander right on his rear tailgate as well. He's going to defend and attack at the same time. How is he going to be able to respond to this? Bouchard with the white flag coming out this time by. It is all or nothing now. But Tanner Koster is falling away. Chris Bouchard is almost gone into the distance. And we're seeing Bob Lacafara down on the apron to try and stay out of the way of this lead battle. Koster still trying to get to the back of the 28. Not going to make it happen as John Jenkins hits the wall coming out of turn 2. Here comes Koster again. Going to try and close in, but he's too far back. Bouchard makes his way through turns 3 and 4 and out of turn 4. Your season 2 champion is Chris Bouchard across the line.
Tanner Koster hanging on for second. Parker Alexander coming home in third. Kevin Paskawych getting John Jenkins at the line for fourth. That's going to put Paskawych third in the championship final points. Kyle Gilbert coming home in sixth. Robert Dudley, Jordan Berry, Nate Siefker, and Brad Allison rounding out your top 10.
What a finish, Tony. What a finish.
Absolutely. As congratulatory shots taken on Bouchard right now, as everybody in the championship contention real happy. Chris able to hang on to her and bring home the victory, especially running the paint scheme that he's running. I think that the entire field is happy to see the breast cancer awareness number 29.
They're still taking shots at each other.
Oh, absolutely. And that's something you got to love about this league is it's post race and it's like, hey, congratulations, bud. Here, fix the door next time.
Absolutely, as that is your champion right there. Chris Bouchard came close last season. No, he didn't. But did he come close last season? No.
I believe he finished second last season.
Yeah, so he finally got it this time round. As my God, I'm still trying to catch my breath from that. As that is your champion, and we're going to see him burn him down this time round.
Absolutely, going to let him burn him down just a little bit before we reach out to Chris. Doing the celebratory donuts. Just a masterful job of putting that truck where he needed to put it all night long. Basically led the championship from the drop of the green. Tanner Koster gave him some battle about mid-race, but Chris was able to hang on and just will that truck to the front when it mattered. And Sam, I believe you've got Chris with you now.
Absolutely. Just missed out last season, but finally got it this season. Chris Bouchard, Season 2 champion in the Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series. How does that feel, sir?
Hell yeah! I have to keep it quiet because the rest of my family is sleeping. Oh my God, what a freaking race. Oh my gosh, I was shaking right at the end with 2 to go. I was just hoping for a yellow just so I didn't have to run one more lap.
Yeah, and what a run you had. You led a lot of laps here tonight. I'm not sure if you led the most laps, but you were definitely right up there. And you had a huge, huge challenge from Tanner Koster there. It was on tenterhooks for a while on that last restart. You were almost leaning on each other, almost ending in disaster for both of you, but wow, what a finish there between you and Tanner Koster. Kevin Paskawych, well, all 4 of you put one hell of a show, but you came out on top here, Chris. Just how was the truck feeling out there tonight, and what was your secret to bringing home the victory tonight?
Like I was saying before the race, I had to find the line and get in a rhythm, and I found that line, and I got into a rhythm, and I was able to check out on both runs, and that final run I checked out, and then that yellow came out, and I'm like, man, it's going to be a battle, and somehow Tanner beat me off of pit road, and I'm Rubbin's racing from there on out. You're going for a championship, man.
Absolutely, and like you said, Rubbin is racing, and you definitely were rubbing sheet metal coming out of turn 2 there. Just describe what that was like there, especially when you just restarted and you were racing for a championship, and you saw both yours and Tanner's trucks come together there coming out of turn 2.
I I was trying to door him. I was not expecting to hit him that hard, so I was quite surprised. I'm kind of used to dooring people and everything late in the race, and thank God I saved that one. It kind of reminds me of Auto Club earlier in the chase, where battling for second, I was freaking dead sideways three times on the front straightaway come to the checkered, but I knew I had to clear him because clean air is just so big here.
Yeah, and once you got to the front, Tanner Koster tried everything he could to get to the back of you, but sorry, I'm trying to catch my breath here. You just controlled it from those last couple of laps onwards. Tanner tried everything he could. You just had it there at the end. I mean, you had it through most of the race, but those last couple of laps, you just controlled it perfectly, and definitely showing that you're a true champion here tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyway, I can't ask you what is happening looking forward. Just go back on your season. You've had some ups, you've had some downs. This is obviously going to be the highlight of your season, but just describe how the season's gone. How you feel about the season altogether, and what do you reckon you can change going into next season?
I knew going into this season that I was gonna either win the championship or was gonna be disappointing. I don't enter any kind of league unless I feel like I can win in that league and contend for the championship. So this is one of the few leagues that I think I can, and everything. I think I proved it tonight. Next year, I don't know what's in store. I can't wait to see season 3 schedule. I really hope Sonoma's on it, because that's a home race for me. That's closer to home than Auto Club.
You've been pushing for Sonoma all season, you have. But anyway,
I love it. The trucks used to run there.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, congratulations on the win, and more importantly, congratulations on the championship win here tonight. Tony, you've got anything to add to this?
I believe you guys just covered everything. Chris, did you have any fear that Tanner was going to try the bump and run on you if he could get to you towards the closing laps there?
Oh, definitely. I was worried about it. That's why I was picking the low line, trying to get it in deep into the corner on those few laps that he was really close to me. That's why I was just trying to get the gap between them. So if he was going to try to bump and run me, it would be quite obvious.
Fair enough. Well, congratulations again, Chris.
And
hard fought victory there.
Oh yeah, and this one is for 2 people. Pocono, I wasn't able to get the win, but I got the championship. This one's for Sherry and Jim, their whole family, and it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So this one's for my mom and all the boys back at the shop at BMR. I shared it to all of them, and hopefully they are watching.
So it's been quite a month for the entire BMR team. As let's see, you guys, I believe, have won the last 3 races on the K&N West Series.
I believe so. I know Haley won Meridian. Cole Rouse
becoming the first woman since 1948 to win a NASCAR Touring Series event.
And then Cole won this last weekend at All American Speedway, and we're hoping to do a 3-peat at Kern this weekend. Derek's won the last 2 there, so trying to make it even 3.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're bringing home a championship win just to add to the glories having in the real life racing. So joining us in the booth now is league owner Kevin Paskawych. Is there anything you'd like to add towards Chris Bouchard there?
You and Tanner should have taken each other out there.
Nice.
No, seriously, man. You were up front all season long. You had, excuse me, you had a couple of late race mishaps that probably prevented you from winning another 3 or 4 races. So, on behalf of
definitely.
So, on behalf of Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series and Pasky Sports and Convergent Composites and all of our sponsors, we really want to say congratulations and thank you for racing with us, and You got a trophy coming your way, bud.
I gotta find a room for that.
But anyway,
bragging.
Absolutely. But anyway, Chris, congratulations on the championship here tonight. Apart from everybody you thanked so far, is there anybody else you'd like to thank for tonight?
I gotta thank AP for everything he does with this league. This is one of the most fun and most competitive leagues I've ever run in. It's super hard to win in. I only got 2-3 wins this year, and that's a disappointment. Hell, one was the All-Star, so I haven't won in a long time. So it's just a testament. Like, you got people like Tanner Koster, Parker, KP, Gilbert, Jenkins, all those guys that are going to run up front. They're going to run your wheels off every single race. So in the next coming weeks, we're going to be having some recruitment races. So if you guys want to take the challenge up and run with us, come on out and find us in the hosted sessions.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, one more time and from the heart, just congratulations on the hard-fought victory here tonight. And yeah, we'll see you next season, and hopefully you can successfully defend that crown.
All right, thank you.
That was our race winner and championship winner, Mr. Chris Bouchard. And Tony, I believe you're with our runner-up here tonight.
Tanner Koster, not finish you were hoping for, but you've still got to be proud of the finish that you had. You know, runner-up in the race, runner-up in the championship points. Hell of a season. Completely sweeping the round of 8 and very strong run all night. You know, Tanner, what are you feeling right now?
I mean, overall, it's going to be disappointing to miss the championship by 0.4 of a second. I've only been iRacing since January, so I can't really complain. It was a great battle there between Chris. I mean, we were beating and banging, and but keeping it clean at the same point. You know, going in here, I knew it was going to be a hard race, and I felt like Chris was going to be really tough to beat, and he was. And I mean, he drove the wheels off that truck to beat me, and it was a good, clean race. He just flat out drove me, so I can't be upset about that. But it's always going to be just a little disappointing to be that close and let it slip away.
Well, we saw you were being held up a little bit by Nate Seifker there in the second to the last run. Was the frustration levels just really building that entire run, or what happened? Walk us through what happened.
Well, I mean, earlier on in that run, I was kind of hoping that he'd get back around Chris and he'd start coming back to me, but then, you know, it was getting 20-15 to go, and I was kind of gaining a little bit of ground on the high side around both of them, and I just couldn't quite get around Nate, and I was definitely getting frustrated, and I didn't mean to spin Nate like I did, but I was definitely trying to push him out of the way to try to make it run at Chris. And then, you know, subsequently we had the caution there, and it was fun racing Chris off pit road. I was spinning the tires trying to get to the end, and I could hear his engine revving up trying to get back around me, and I knew it was going to be a battle there to the end, and it was.
Well, walk us through that final restart. You know, you had the button when we went back to green. You know, was there anything you probably would have done differently with hindsight being 2020?
I don't know. I mean, I knew the first and foremost thing I had to do was get the jump on him, and I got a great jump and cleared him. I knew he wasn't going to go away. I knew he was going to be wanting it just as bad as I did. And I mean, I think once he did get around me, I was kind of overdriving into the corners, and I should have been easing back up and trying to get a better run off than he was. But I mean, it is what it is. It was a great race, all in all.
Well, Tanner, I know it wasn't the finish you were hoping for, but all in all, like you said, you've only been iRacing since January. So with the strength of field that shows up week in and week out in the Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series, you still have to be proud of that effort. Absolutely.
I mean, it's never easy to win here in this league, and you know, honestly, I wasn't sure I'd get a win in this league at all this year, and I ended up with 3. You know, obviously those last 2 in the round of 8, and I mean, I was super stoked for that, and it was a good season overall, and I look forward to future ones. I mean, there's always next season.
Absolutely. But Tanner, before we let you go, anybody else you want to thank?
First and foremost, got to thank KP for keeping this league going week in and week out. I always say it's fun because it's a great league. There's good competition, but you know, there's always good battles, and you know you can be up front having a good time with so many different people. So big thanks to him. Everybody that watches, my girlfriend, her brother, her family, my mom, my dad, my little brother, everybody that watches the broadcasts. It's cool to have people watching this thing.
All right, Tanner, we're going to let you get back and celebrate with everybody. Again, congratulations on the finish that you had, on the season that you had. As a body of work, it was fun to watch you do what you do week in and week out. Looking forward to seeing you in Season 3.
Thank you.
As that was our second place finisher, Mr. Tanner Koster. And joining me in the booth now is our third place finisher and biggest mover of the race. Started back in P21 and making his way up to the top 3. Parker, what a race you've had here tonight.
Yeah, it was a fun one. Kind of ticked off right now. Because back there in, I don't know what month it was, but we went to Watkins Glen, and I decided not to race. And that was the race that eliminated me from not making a shot at the championship. But I tell you what, we're coming back next year, or next season, and getting myself a trophy.
Absolutely. You've been strong all season. Every race you've turned up to this season, you've been right up there, challenging for victories on podiums and stuff like that. And this season, yeah, you didn't make it to the chase, but even during the chase, you've been winning races. So is that some incentive you can take on into next season and hopefully get yourself a championship next season?
Yeah, and I know if I was in it, I definitely could have had a really good shot because I was pulling a Kyle Larson there at the end. I was just letting them race it out. I was a little bit faster than Tanner. I think I could have been a little bit. I think I could have challenged Chris, but I'll just take the momentum I have right now and go into next season.
That's a good attitude to have, Parker. That's just chalk it up to experience, and next season, try not to miss any. That's the biggest key right there. And that was something that Sam and I had mentioned earlier in the playoffs. Is what would have happened had Parker Alexander been in the chase? What would have happened had this not happened or that not happened earlier? How different would the outcome tonight have been? So the fact that you're able to look at it from that standpoint shows a lot of maturity from such a young driver.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be next season. I know the thing that kept me here on Mondays that my dad's is coming up, so I guess I'll try to find something out. But yeah, I'll definitely give it my best shot next season. And about the race, it was a pretty fun race. Not that many cautions, but there's one caution that made me a little mad. Sorry for getting a little heated. I didn't know Kyle spun out, so that was on my bad.
Yeah, I kind of heard you getting a little wound up there in the in-race chat, which is probably a good thing that we didn't have that coming over the stream. But it's understandable. I mean, you had big momentum going for you right then and there. You were reeling in the top 3 when that came out, and it's understandable to get the frustration, but. You got it calmed down, you got it collected back together, and you came up with a strong podium tonight.
Yeah, I thought we were going back to stages. I was like, no, please. But yeah, it was a pretty fun race. Made my way from the back to the front multiple times. I did something I don't normally do in this league, and I was safe by tires. I usually go all out, and I try my hardest in the beginning of the run, but I tried something different today, and it paid dividends there for a little bit. I don't think on the long run I had anything for John Jenkins. He seemed pretty sporty. But, yeah, it was a pretty fun race. Not as many cautions as we're used to.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a great thing. Hopefully we can do that next season. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we're expecting a lot more competition next season. And I know you're definitely going to be up to it come the first race of Season 3. Coming into next season, you've got to be looking strong there. I'm not sure what the schedule is going to be. It's not been announced yet. There will be announced in the next few days. Do you reckon you're going to be right there, up there with them guys next season and get that championship, because you know the competition is going to be right there, and there's going to be a lot of people in the running for that.
I definitely think I have a good chance. I'm just ready for next season, man. I'm ready for the Xfinity series, man. I love the Xfinity cars. I don't really like trucks. Trucks don't interest me that much. But I love me some Xfinity.
Yeah. But anyway, Parker, congratulations on the 3rd place, and congratulations on having such a pretty successful season despite not making it into the chase. You won the most races on the season, I'm pretty sure, so that's one thing to be smiling about. But is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out or thank for your season or the race tonight?
I want to say thank you to KP for putting on the league. I want to say congratulations to Chris. And I want to thank my teammates at Going to the Front Motorsports. And the guys that put on Bottom Split Night in America. I know I'm plugging another stream. Don't hurt me, please.
Well, for what it's worth, during week 13, we're actually planning on doing a couple of broadcasts of Bottom Split Bingo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
But anyway, Parker, congratulations on finishing 3rd tonight. And yeah, I know you didn't make it into the chase, but you are you did win the most races on the season. And yeah, we'll see you next season. And as we bring you when we go to the Xfinity Season 2 and Trucks Season 3.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you to you guys for broadcasting all these races.
Oh, you're welcome. We offer a service, and they accept us. So we're just here to provide the entertainment, and well, you guys provide it the most. We just broadcast it.
But it's a fun series to broadcast.
Yeah, it's a fun series to race. And I'll see you guys next season.
Okay, see you later, Parker. That was our 3rd place finisher, Mr. Parker Alexander. And KP, we're going to go back to you. Not the finish you wanted. You finished 3rd in the chase standings, so that's not got nothing to be too disheartened about. But you had a very eventful race tonight.
Yeah. First off, I need to really thank our drivers out there tonight. It was an absolutely awesome race tonight. 4 caution flags. All night long there was a lot of give and take. There was a lot of guys working around each other, and we really want to thank the drivers in our league for that. We really appreciate everyone doing that. It really, I think, adds to the quality of racing. So, but more to the question. Yeah, it's a little disappointing. I really, like I said, I like Bouchard and Tanner, but I really wanted them to take each other out on that restart. When they got together, it was like, oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. But it didn't. But, we're really happy for the season. Last season was absolutely horrible for us. I think we had 1 top 5 finish and like 3 top 10s. So, to end the season with, I think, 12 top 10s in 16 races and, 8 or 9 top 5s and a couple of wins thrown in there, it really means a lot. So, we'll be announcing the new schedule here in the next couple of days. And we'll get back to it in a couple of weeks and see what we can do in the next season.
Yeah, and just took us over the season as a whole. I mean, we've had big fields, we've had big races, we've had a lot of different winners on the season. Just describe how you feel and how proud must you feel after such a successful season with the Pasky Truck Series.
We definitely feel really good. I mean, everything that was a challenge for the league this year, everything that, went on. And, at one point we had, at one point we had 43 trucks, which is, by the way, way too many trucks to have in a race.
True story.
And then, a couple weeks later we had 13.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And, we just talked to other leagues. We talked to Go Fast, I think, and we talked to Major League Esports and Top Fuel and said, hey guys, if you want to come on over and race with us, they said okay. And
as well as the guys from the E-Auto Racing Series.
Yes, and E-Auto, Tex and his guys. Sorry to...
No. You're talking Frenchie and Butch and Ray Black and those guys from E-Auto.
No, that's right. I get... Sorry, Tex and Frenchie and everybody. I get
Texas guys are the Major League Esports.
Yeah, I get you guys confused sometimes. I do apologize. But, we talked to all the guys. We said, hey, why don't we try this out? And came over and, I think we averaged... I have to go back and look at it, but I think we averaged 32 trucks a race this season. Which for
with a lot of those races being north of 20.
Yeah, I think we only had 2 races all season that were under 20 trucks. And I think we only had like maybe 3 races all season, 3 or 4 races that were under 25 trucks. So, we just really appreciate our drivers. A lot of the guys who've come in have really, shown that they want to race, that, they've shown that they want to learn. They show that they want to be a part of this league, and they're very active as part of the league. So, it does feel good. It feels very good. And we have you guys on board to broadcast it and show what's going on. And for that, we're very, very thankful. So, overall, I'd say it was a very good season, especially since at one point, we weren't sure we were going to finish the season. So,
well, you bring up a good point there, KP. Is one of the chief cook and bottle washers in the league. Do have to give a big shout out to Byron Rodney, who currently is recovering from a real life car wreck, and hopefully we'll see him back at least in a administrative capacity relatively short here.
Yeah, I think we'll see Byron back pretty soon, and just talked to him, I think, yesterday. He's on the mend. And definitely it's been rough trying to do it without him the last 5 or 6 weeks. So, and we're glad that he's feeling better and moving better and all of that jazz. So, but definitely we have to thank him. We have to thank, our admins, even the guys who just come in part-time when they can, like Ronnie, and then Nate Seifker and Kyle Gilbert, who are other full-time admins in the series, for looking at everything, trying to keep everything straight. And of course, the series sponsors, other than myself. We really have to thank Bob Lecovar and Convergent Composites for, putting it out for us and for helping us out, and for Hoop Baker and his taco stand for helping us out as well. So it's really a team effort. I can't take all of the credit for it.
We also have to thank your wife Karen for putting up with all of our crap.
Yes, yeah, I definitely have to thank Karen, because she puts up with all of y'all and me, and even a little bit of Byron too. So.
We've got to thank Karen for picking this track for this finale as well, because this has been
absolutely
an absolute barn burner tonight. I
kind of wanted her to pick Daytona personally, but so I've got a gift for those restrictor plate tracks. But no, yeah, she, we had her draw. She wasn't sure what to do, and she drew Kentucky. And win, lose, or draw, it came out to be a really good race. We had a lot of really good racing tonight. It came right down to it. A late race battle for it all. So we're really excited for that. We also want to thank everyone who watches us on a weekly basis. All of you guys out there are awesome. And we'll be back next season.
Speaking of,
I don't think we could have scripted a better, final shootout. 5 laps to go with 3 of you within the top 4. That was just an awesome finish.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, I think Tanner and Bouchard should have wrecked. But other than that, it was an amazing finish. And we were happy to have it.
Looking ahead to next season now, KP, we were looking forward to season 2 of the the Grand National Series and Season 3 of the Truck Series. I know you're going to be competing in both. Just give us your thoughts on what you reckon you can do next season. You got a couple of wins. You finally broke your duck in the Truck Series. Do you reckon you can go on and challenge for a title next season?
Oh, we certainly hope so. I mean, I hate to say it, but for me personally, it comes down to what track we're going to run the finale at. I think the rest of the season I can do fairly well all the way up through. I can do fairly well into the Final Four, but it's gonna really depend on where that last race is for us to be competitive for a championship. But it's gonna be fun. We are looking at a couple of possible tweaks to the format. We're also looking at possibly adding a short track series. So we'll see how it goes.
Sam, you're on your own for broadcasting that one if it happens.
Hey.
I can tell you guys officially that we will be keeping the schedule the same number of races for both series next season. And we will be doing away with the stage format for both series for next season. So,
yay!
Yeah, we went back, and I'll tell you guys this. I went back about 4 or 5 days ago and looked at the output from all of the races all season long that had stages, and I removed the 2 stage cautions from the count and looked at them. And then I looked at even Bristol last week and Talladega and looked at the count on those and the races since we stopped doing stages, and the caution count is so much tremendously lower than, you know, even if you added 2 cautions to these races, these last several races, we would still be, you know, well under what we were averaging. So I think it helps our drivers out to just get into a rhythm and race a little bit more, because it's not a mad scramble for points at the, you know, every 25 or 30 laps. And quite frankly, it's just more fun because it gives the guys a chance like tonight to feel it out. You know, with 2 more cautions, this race would have been an incredibly different beast. So we're just happy to, you know, make that announcement. And a couple of guys had been asking us. So there it is. It is out in the open. And we have a couple more that will be coming out. Nothing as big as that one. I think that's the biggie. But we'll have some other stuff coming out here in the next couple of weeks. And let everybody know what Season 2 of Grand National and Season 3 of the Trucks is going to be.
And let's just clear this up. Season 3 of the Trucks and Season 2 of the Grand National Series. Will the Daytona Jewels be returning?
Well, if you're talking, no, I'm not going to say that. I don't want to get you guys in trouble on YouTube.
The answer is a definite maybe.
So it is very possible. We're looking at a couple of different possibilities. That's why the schedule's not out right now. Is we're debating shuffling a couple of tracks around so that we end up with 2 Daytonas. We will be starting our season in both series at Daytona. That's a definite.
Well, that's what he was going for, was to set the field for both Daytona races. Are we going to be doing the quote heat race format?
No, we are going to leave that burning hulk of a dumpster as far away as it can possibly be left.
That's all.
How do you really feel? Holy crap!
But anyway, KP. On a serious note, just got to say from both a perspective, thank you for having us on board for this one. This has been one hell of a season for the Trucks, and I think I speak for myself and for Tony that we've just had a blast completely just broadcasting this thing, and we
very much
we can't wait to bring this both series to the masses and provide entertainment for everybody next season.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate you guys, and I also have to give a shout out to my team.
Speaking of which, KP, confirm or deny? did you have a live person spotting for you tonight?
Yes, I definitely did. I have to thank him. Joe Morganti is my spotter tonight. He's one of our drivers, and he decided not to race and decided to sit up in the crow's nest for me and kept me out of trouble a couple of times tonight. So I really have to thank him, and of course all of our other PH drivers, and Nate and Kyle and Tyler and everybody else. So and of course Ronnie, who's like the ever-present ghost of Champions Past that floats over all of us as he's away at college. So
he was flying back to college today.
Yes, he was. I wish they'd postponed it today and he could have raced with us tonight. But oh well. But yeah, so I really have to thank those guys, and thank you guys for broadcasting. We had a lot of amazing moments this season, a lot of just very stupendous things that happened, and thank you for bringing them to the masses for us, and we'll be back next season and hopefully give you some more fun stuff to shout about.
I think I nearly lost my voice at the end of that race. But anyway, before we go to our results as well, we just want to give a quick shout out to the guys that are watching over in the PH Men's Fight Club. This race was called the Fight Club 225. Any words for those guys, KP?
Just, keep fighting, guys. Boy, I wasn't expecting that. But, just we want to thank them for supporting us. And, we're really happy to bring some awareness to them tonight. And, keep it up, guys. Keep fighting your own fight. And we'll keep doing what we do to try and let the world know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, you can find more about pulmonary hypertension awareness at phaware.global. And if you are in the United States, just when you sign up for your driver's license, go ahead and check that box that says organ donor and all usable organs, because that could mean the difference between somebody being able to continue with their quality of life and not. And I know that in most cases the only real course of action in pulmonary hypertension is a double lung transplant. So if you really want to help folks, check that box when you sign up for your driver's license that says you want to become an organ donor.
Yep, and same for everybody in Europe as well that are watching. It's pretty much the same process as they are in America. Just check that little box when you're filling out your forms, especially if you're in the UK and you're getting your free healthcare, you lucky bastards. And
true story.
Just when you're filling out your medical forms, just tick that little box that says I would like to be an organ donor, and they will get you signed up. Anyway, that is going to do it for us tonight. As just a quick race recap there, Tony. What a race!
I'm actually shaking from what we just saw, and the race has been over for a good 30 minutes now, and I'm still shaking from the adrenaline just watching what we saw on track.
Absolutely, and if that is what we've got to look forward to next season, then sign me up, because I am going to be in the booth for that one, from race 1 in Daytona to the finale at the end of next season in both series. I will add, because we did have a bit of trouble broadcasting the Grand National Series, but we will be bringing you a full schedule next season, and that is a 100% promise on that, I believe, Tony.
And I will be with you for both the Grand National and the Truck Series to the best of my ability. The only series that I won't be joining you in the booth for, if it works out the way that I hope it works out, and the car that I hope it becomes, if it's what I think it's going to be, I will be driving the modified next season.
Hey, and that is going to do it for us now. Let's go straight to the results before we get out of here and go and celebrate with Mr. Bouchard. Has already left TeamSpeak, so there's no point in any of that. But anyway, let's go to Our results for the race, and coming home with the win and the championship is the man in the 28. What a battle he had. He brings home the win and the Season 2 championship. That's Chris Bouchard, and finishing in second. It was his closest challenger, Mr. Tanner Koster. Rounding out your top three after starting at the back was Parker Alexander. In fourth place was Kevin Paskawych. Rounding out your top five was John Jenkins. In sixth place, after such a good run, falling back and having a few incidents there, was Kyle Gilbert, having a bit of a good comeback there near the end. He finishes in sixth. Robert Dudley in seventh. Eighth, Jordan Barry. Ninth, Nate Seifker, after an incident with Tanner Koster earlier on in the race. And rounding out your top 10 is Bradley Allison. Tony.
James McDavid coming home in 11th. Mike Whitaker able to hang on for 12th. Sean Weaver in 13th. Francois Pelletier in 14th. 15th going to the Jersey Jet, Johnny Antonucci. Butch Frazier able to hang on for 16th. Hoot Baker coming home in 16th. Butch Frazier in 16th. Hoot Baker, the last car on the lead lap, in 17th. Bob Lacavara finishing one lap down in 18th. Chad Witt in 19th. Dylan Moskowitz with a disappointing finish in 20th. Tyler Vickery in 21st. Matt Terrell in 22nd. And a heartbreaker for Brandon Stokes after leading the good portion of the first part of the race. Had connection issues and was the first one to put it on the hauler tonight in 23rd.
That is going to do it here. That is your results for tonight's race. Don't forget you can check us out on Bofa Broadcasting. We are broadcasting 6 nights a week actually, as we bring you many different series each day. But for this one, we started at Daytona with the Jewels. We finish here at Kentucky, and we bring you a brand new champion. That is Mr. Chris Bouchard. Congratulations go out to the man in the 28. But for now, that is it for us. From myself, Tony Trapasso, from myself, Sam Cooper Bennett, from a broadcasting partner, Mr. Tony Trapasso, Kevin Paskawych, and Hoot Baker joining him in the booth. All that's left for me to say is keep it clean, keep it green, and we will see you next season in the Pasky's Cardiac Truck Series for Season 3. Good night.